ज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरून् श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्ण चैतन्य देवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगण ललिता श्री विशाखावितांश्च हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांता राधा कांता नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमः ओं विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमती भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी इति नामले। नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणी निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणी। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे।
Yeah, thank you Anjali, thank you. Okay, so anyone can tell me what you all did last time? What was discussed? Do you remember anything? I saw the recording, so I remember. But do you all remember?
It mainly talks about Achintya Bheda Abheda Tattva.
And what is
meaning
that?
It is the simultaneous being one, similar as well as different. So this is the philosophy followed by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, similar as well as different at the same time, personal as well as personal. We all possess qualities as that like the Lord, but in much lesser quantity. So qualitatively we are similar, but quantitatively, of course, we are much lower. Oneness and different at the same time. We are like Krishna, but we are not Krishna. But all of us belong to Krishna. Only if we develop this kind of a thinking that quantitatively I am not equal to Krishna, lesser than Krishna, then alone will we develop the servitor attitude or that the seva bhav. Knowledge of Krishna is liberation, but ignorance of Krishna is bondage, being bound to this material world.
Very nice. Excellent. Anyone else wants to add? I want your understanding of Achintya Bheda Abheda Tattva, because this is important. I want to know what your understanding is and what your realization is. What have you understood from last class? Anjali has very nicely spoken in detail about it, but I would like at least one other person, at least, if not all, to tell me what is your realization on it, what is your understanding.
Even in Bhagavatam class also we have discussed in the same, about the same. That
Yes.
time you also mentioned that we are Anu and he is Vibhu. That way
Yes.
you are explaining.
Correct. So, anyone else wants to add?
माताजी हम भगवान के अंश है पर फिर भी we are different from God. We are not equal to God. This is the philosophy of Achintya Bheda.
Yes. Very nice. Anything else? Preeti, Neha.
Mataji, I didn't attend the last class, but though I've revised from 1.1 to 1.7, I thought we've done till 1.7. I saw the recording and I thought we've done till 7.7. So I can tell you till 7.7, not 7.8 and 7.9. I revised today till 7.7.
Okay, go ahead.
So here, he says that, there are two type of knowledge, Gyan and Vigyan. And he says that, Gyan is basically greatness of God and Vigyan is basically sweetness of God. And I am both. So once you understand this, you don't need to know anything else. This is the absolute truth. And then he says that, there are very few people who understand, there are thousands of people who are basically trying to understand me, but they do not attain me. And many people are basically trying to do religious activities, but basically those activities are karam kanda activities. And here there's an example. I like the examples. I've written down the examples. So I was basically going through the lecture of Chaitanya Charandas. So he gave an example where he said that what people basically do is they pray to Brahma, and there's a very famous shlok which they use, that is tum to ho bal brahmachari but mujhe de do ek nari. So people are actually doing religious activities for karam kanda activities. So once basically that you attain Krishna, then you don't need anything else. And this Gyan is known as Aishwarya Gyan, and Vigyan is known as the Madhurya Gyan. So this is what I did today. And then he says that he divided the absolute truth into matter, spirit, and controller, where he said matter are divided into 8 elements, and then spirit is basically the living entity, and I am basically controlling the matter and the spirit. So it is known as MSC.
So what are the 8 elements of matter?
Yeah, it is earth, water, fire, mind, air, ether, intelligence, and false ego.
Okay, so you should always club the gross together and subtle together.
Yeah.
Don't bring mind into the gross, you'll get confused. Okay, and then?
And then he talked about superior energy and inferior energy. He said this world is basically the inferior energy, while living entity is the superior energy. And this is about it, Mataji. And he says that nothing exists but him, but we come from him, and we are meant to.
Why is the jiva called superior energy when we know that Maya is definitely stronger, right?
Yeah.
Prakriti is stronger, right?
Yeah.
Aren't the gross and the subtle elements stronger? Why is jiva superior and
why is Jiva superior?
why is he called superior?
Because it's the soul.
Yes, you're right.
Yeah.
So what is the symptom of a soul? What's the symptom of a soul? How do we know we have soul in the body? What's the symptom that there's the soul in the body? Yes, you're right. Go ahead. Think. What is the symptom that there is a soul present in the body? What is the difference between me and the table?
The very fact that we are
Consciousness.
alive, consciousness.
Consciousness. Yes. So the symptom of the soul is consciousness. Therefore, we are superior. Yeah. Very nice. Very nice. So then that comes up till 7.6.
7.6. Yeah.
6. Yeah. Matta Parataram Nanyat. Anyone wants to tell me about 7.7? Most important verse. I think you all discussed it in detail. Yes.
Once you know him,
Yes.
then you evade birth and death, and he's all pervading. And basically, he's like a necklace. He's holding the whole universe. So, like a necklace holds the bead, he is actually the controller, and he's holding everything.
But you can't see him like the thread.
Yeah.
The string holding the beads.
Without the thread, the pearls will just
Gonna fall off.
Yeah. So there's you don't have a necklace without the thread. Actually, we call it the pearl necklace, right? But without the thread, there's no necklace. So he's the unseen factor. Very nice. So then what does 8 to 11? Krishna is, what's he declaring? He's showing us that he is all pervasive and he is the
Perfect.
essence of everything, right? He's telling us he's the essence. So this is actually how you should understand Achintya Bheda Abheda Tattva. So Achintya Bheda Abheda Tattva doesn't just constitute us and Krishna. When we say we are talking about all the jivas as well as all the Jada Tattva. You know there are 5 tattvas, right? Anyone knows what are the 5 tattvas?
Earth,
Earth, ether,
air.
water, fire, air.
No, that is not, that is the gross elements. Tattva, Vishnu Tattva.
Okay.
What are the 5 tattvas? First is Vishnu Tattva, then
So Mahavishnu, Shirodaksha Vishnu,
that is one tattva, right? That's all. Vishnu Tattva is one tattva. All Vishnu avatars are Vishnu Tattva. We are Jiva Tattva.
Jiva Tattva.
Then what are the 5 tattvas?
The inanimate, I don't know the word for
Jada.
it. The
Jada Tattva.
jada.
Inanimate, yeah. Things which are just inanimate. They don't
Inanimate.
move. They're just there. But they are also Jada Tattva. They're called Jada Tattva. Shakti Tattva and then so what is Jada Tattva? So now you must understand that everything comes from Krishna. Krishna creates everything. Everything comes from Krishna. So even a stone is made by Krishna, comes from Krishna, but is not Krishna. That is Achintya Bheda Abheda Tattva. So even water, earth, fire, air, ether, everything is created from whom? Is all comes from Krishna, but he is not part of it, right? It is him, but it's not him. Material world, the 3 gunas are him, his energy, but not him. You understand what I'm trying to say? That is Achintya, unimaginable, inconceivable. That is what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to teach us. Before that, this is Achintya Bheda Vedattva. Before that, it was Dvaita, then Advaita. Before that, Advaita. Before that, it was Shunyavadis. Yeah, so that is how the progression went. So this Achintya Bheda Bheda Tattva is what Vishaka Mataji touched on last time, because when you see all this, Rasoham Apsu Konteya, Prabhasmi Shashi Surya, I am the taste in the water. So he is there in the water, but is he water? Is it Krishna? Yes, it's Krishna, but it's not Krishna. It's inconceivable by us because we have very limited understanding, intelligence. So that taste in Krishna, the essence of that water, the taste of the water is Krishna because he's put his energy in it. But still, the water's not him. It's created by him, it's part of him, but it's not him. So when you understand that everything around you emanates from Krishna, we should not only think of jivas. We should not have that ego of that, oh, only we are him, but not him. Every jiva is him, but have limited. Even a tree is amsha of Krishna. Even a pig, even an ant, even a bacteria is an amsha of Krishna, because they are all jiva tattvas, and all jivas are amshas, right? So what are the 4 things you did last time in verse 8? I am the taste in water, I am the light of the sun and moon, right? So is there light and is there a sun and moon in the spiritual world?
No.
Why?
Because there is no day and night in the spiritual world.
Because
The sun and moon are the demigods. Because they are.
So in the spiritual world, Krishna wakes up in the morning, goes to sleep in the night. It is dark when he goes to do Ras Leela in the moonshine. Where does that all come from? Is there sun and moon in the spiritual world?
no, कृष्णा के शरीर में इतनी वो रोशनी है कि उसी से ही हम सबको भी लाइट मिल रहा है उससे.
In the spiritual world?
Yeah, in the spiritual world, yes.
Yes, absolutely.
Mm.
There is a moon and there is a sun in the spiritual world. It's not that there is no sun and there is no moon. There is. Because the sun will rise and then Mother Yashoda says, oh, the sun is rising. Oh, this is the full moon. We have to go for it. I mean, of course it's there. It's not that it's not there. It is there. But it is not, the function of the sun and moon is not the same as it is in the material world. The material world is, the sun and moon gives us the notion of time. It gives us time and light and life and essence, right? The moon nourishes and gives nectar to the fruits and vegetables so that we get taste from it. So how do we get it? Because it's only in the moonlight that the nectar from the moon is absorbed by the vegetables and fruits, and they have a particular taste in it. So the functions are multifarious. It's not that only sunlight only gives us light. It gives us light, it gives us heat, it gives us food, it gives us the notion of time, exactly the same time it has rises and sets. So if you see, basically everything is timed, everything has a discipline. No one goes here and there from discipline, right? So but in the spiritual world, it's there just to serve the Lord according to the Lord's mercy, according to his wishes. But na tad bhasyate suryo na shashanko na pavakaha yad gatva na nivartante tad dhama paramam. There is no sunlight, there is no moonlight, because it's his effulgence. The effulgence of the Dham and the effulgence of the Lord himself is the light which is needed in the spiritual world. I am the syllable Om in the Vedic mantras. I am the sound in ether, and I am the ability in man. So you all did that in detail also. I saw that there was reference from the Srimad Bhagavatam, how the 5 elements were created and it came into existence in the material world. So we'll do 7.9 and I'll just share the screen.
Excuse me, Mataji. You said 5 tattva, na? Vishnu, Jiva, Jada, Shakti, and which is 5th one?
Maya.
Maya.
Material tattva. Prakriti, Maya. Actually, it's Prakriti tattva only, I think. But they call it Maya tattva also. So I'm just sharing, yeah. So someone can please repeat. Punyo gandha prithivyam cha.
Punyo gandha prithivayam cha.
Tejas chashmi vibhavaso.
Tejas chasmi vibhavaso.
Jivanam sarva bhuteshu.
जीवनं सर्वभूतेषु
Tapaschashmi tapasvishu.
तपश्चास्मि तपस्विषु.
Okay. Punya, original. Gandha, fragrance. Prithivyam, in the earth. Cha, also. Teja, heat. Cha, also. Asmi, I am. Vibhavaso, in the fire. Jivanam, life. Sarva, in all. Bhuteshu, living entities. Tapa, penance. Cha, also. Asmi, I am. Tapavishu, in those who practice penance. Can you read the translation also, please?
I am the original fragrance of the earth, and I am the heat in fire. I am the life of all the lives, and I am the penances of all the ancestors.
Ascetics. Ascetics meaning those who do penance, all the yogis. Yeah. Punya means that which is not decomposed. Punya is original. Punya is pure. Anything original is pure, right? Anything pure is not decomposed or spoiled or old or destroyed. Everything in the material world has a certain flavor of fragrance, as the flavor and fragrance in a flower or in the earth, in water, in fire, in air, etc. The uncontaminated flavor, the original flavor which permeates everything, is Krishna. So, if we think about earth, when do we get the fragrance of the earth?
When it rains,
Rains.
And then we say, you just want to smell it and you want to, it's like, so nice, so fresh. Everybody waits for that, isn't it? So what is that? That is the fragrance of the earth. So what is that fragrance? So next time it rains and you're smelling it, you must remember Krishna, because it should remind you of Krishna. And that's how you should meditate. There is smell in fire also. When there is a fire burning, you can smell fire, isn't it? When you're in the other room, or if there is something burning, you can smell fire. And we all know because we keep cooking. In the air, wherever the wind travels over whatever, it carries the fragrance. If it travels over a dustbin, it has the smell of that. Or if it's going over a garden, the air carries the fragrance of the garden, of the roses, of whatever flowers. Anything, any original thing is the Lord himself. Yeah. Everything is Krishna. Similarly, everything has a particular original taste, and this taste can be changed by the mixture of chemicals. So everything original has some smell, some fragrance, some taste. When you taste water, sometimes you go to a different city or a different country, the water taste is different. And you say, "Arey, yahan itna meetha hai pani." So that meetha, that mithas, the more pure it is, the sweeter it will be, because Krishna is there in that water. So obviously the taste will be very sweet. The more contaminated it is with chemicals or anything, that much the water taste will change. But the original taste of water is primarily meant to be sweet. We're talking about fresh water. And the same thing goes with salt water. The taste of salt water is, no one can drink it, but it has the salty taste. That also is Krishna. Yeah. So you must remember that if the water is very, very sweet in a particular place, that means Krishna's energy is uncontaminated in that. So try to drink more of that water. It should remind you more of that water. So when we filter everything and have also, sometimes we get some sweet water taste, isn't it? And nowadays they want to have alkaline water, isn't it? I'm sure Singapore and all, it's very, India also it's very common. Kangen water, isn't it? I'm sure it's there.
Singapore, Mataji, we are drinking tap water only.
Tap water. Okay.
Yeah. But in Malaysia, we used to drink alkaline water.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. That's nice. So Singapore has pure water, uncontaminated essence of Krishna is still there. Vibhavasu means fire. Without fire, we cannot run factories, we cannot cook, etc. And that fire is Krishna. The heat in the fire is Krishna. Yeah. So fire is used for many purposes. There is fire in your body also, and that is called the digestive fire. It is used for digestion. And Krishna says, anybody knows the verse? I'm forgetting it. I taught the children. Anyone remembers the verse? I am the fire of digestion. He declares in the, I think the 12th chapter or 14th chapter. If I ask my children, they'll remember, but I haven't. Anyway, so he says that I am the fire of digestion in your body. And also, without fire, is it possible for cooking? We have so many needs of fire. We have so many needs of earth, water, air. These 5 elements which the Lord has created is all within us in the body also and outside also, which is very, very necessary for everyday living. But we don't give it a thought. Without these 5 elements, without these 5 gross elements, it's very difficult to live life. Even if one of these elements is increases or decreases in your body, you fall sick. Just think about it. If there is more air in your body, your stomach goes for a toss, isn't it? If there is more heat in your body, again it goes for it. If any of the nutrients, minerals, or anything, vitamins, decreases or increases in your body, what is that? That's all earth, isn't it? Iron, vitamin A, vitamin D, calcium, phosphorus. If it's not there in the right amount, you fall sick. So it is very, very important. So these 5 elements are very important, and this is all Krishna. According to Vedic medicine, indigestion is due to low temperature in the body. So even for digestion, fire is needed. In Krishna consciousness, we become aware that earth, water, fire, air, and every active principle, all chemicals and all material elements are due to Krishna. The duration of man's life is also due to Krishna. Therefore, by the grace of Krishna, man can prolong his life or diminish it. So Krishna consciousness is active in every sphere. Right? So this also answers your question last time when you asked Hema, that when we follow so many diets and everything, yes, because we have to keep our body in balance. And that's why earlier people used to eat complete Ayurvedic diet and Ayurveda medicines so that it doesn't harm the body. But now so much of chemicals are being pumped into our body in way of medicines, in way of fertilizers, or genetically modifying different vegetables, and we don't even know what's going into our body, and that's why we have so much of health problems. If we leave everything to nature, to Krishna, to be as it is, then we won't have so many problems. Everything has, it has preservatives in it. By the time it reaches you, we don't even know. There's things which I remember only thing in my grandmother's house which used to stay for a long time used to be pickle. Because there was an art of making pickle and it used to be done in the sunlight. Nowadays, pickles are not made in sunlight. Do you think factories are making it in the sunlight? No, they're making it in factory environments. And because it was made in the sunlight, we used to get vitamin D through that also, because it used to be absorbed. So very important to know that all these 5 gross elements which your body is made of is actually Krishna's energy. So we have to take care of it. Right? Any questions here? Should we move forward?
Mataji, here how we can understand this sentence, that second last sentence. Therefore, by the grace of Krishna, man can prolong his life or diminish it.
By your choices. So you can make, once you understand that Krishna in its pure form, in the punya, original form, is Krishna. But then Srila Prabhupada, if you see, goes on to say that with added chemicals, it becomes contaminated. So with correct choices of what you're going to eat and what you're going to, how you're going to live your life, you can either prolong your life or you can diminish it. Because everything affects, even anything small which goes into your body which is not pure, which has more chemicals in it, which is not closer to the pure form, can affect your body. Your environment can affect your body. We all know that.
Yeah.
So in that way, by the grace of Krishna means he has given it to you. He has given everything to you in its punya form. But we, because in the disguise of being so advanced, being so technologically advanced and everything, what are we doing? We are eating a lot of chemicals. We are ingesting. Medicine itself is just chemicals. All these pills which you are taking is completely chemicals. As far as possible, till it comes to an emergency situation, we should all try to avoid having medicines. You should, unless it comes to an emergency state where you have to go for it, I would advise everyone that try to diminish these pills which you're taking. Try to go for Ayurveda. Ayurveda is the best and it cleanses you completely. But if you come to an emergency situation where you can't wait, because Ayurveda works over a long period of time, unless and until that comes, try to, heal yourself through food and through Ayurveda. That's the best way. And of course, if you follow Sattvic lifestyle, again, you can prolong your life. That's what he means. So, understanding Srila or decoding Srila Prabhupada's purpose, scrutinizingly studying it is very, very important, because he gives you so many gems in just simple questions or in simple sentences. So it's very important. Yeah. Shall we move ahead? Okay. Okay. 7.10. Bijam mam sarvabhutanam
Bijam mam sarvabhutanam
Vidhi partha sanatanam
Vidhi partha sanatanam
Buddhir buddhimatam asmi
Buddhir buddhimatam asmi
Tejas tejasvinamaham.
Tejas tejasvinamaham. O son of Pritha,
Yeah, please read the translation. Yeah.
O son of Pritha, know that I am the original seed of all existences, the intelligence of the intelligent and the prowess of all powerful men.
Yes. Aham bija pradapita, he says. Krishna says. He is the seed giving father. Aham bija pradapita. I am the bijam, the seed of all living entities. Meaning that he is the father. We all come from him. Right? Bijam means seed. Krishna is the seed of everything. There are various living entities, movable and inert. Birds, beasts, men, and many other living creatures are moving living entities. Trees and plants, however, are inert. They cannot move, but only stand. Every entity is contained within the scope of 8,400,000 species of life. Some of them are moving, some of them are inert. In all cases, however, the seed of their life is Krishna. As stated in Vedic literature, Brahman or the Supreme Absolute Truth is that from which everything is emanating. Krishna is Parabrahman, the Supreme Spirit. We did this, right? In Srimad Bhagavatam. So, everything, we should have this realization that Krishna is the father of every living creature, even trees and plants. Then our heart will soften. Then we will be more established in a state of being equivision. That is the state we should come to. We should not have any kind of hatred towards anything or anyone, or make any form of violence towards it. Impersonal Brahman is situated in the personal aspect that is stated in Bhagwad Gita. Therefore, originally, Krishna is the source of everything. He is the root. As the root of a tree maintains the whole tree, Krishna, being the original root of all things, maintains everything in this material manifestation. This is also confirmed in the Vedic literature, Katha Upanishad. Nityo nityanam chetanas chetananam eko bahunam yo vidadhati kaman. This verse is very often quoted by Srila Prabhupada in Bhagwad Gita and Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita. So this is something you must understand. He is the prime eternal among all eternals. He is the supreme living entity of all living entities, and he alone is maintaining all life. One cannot do anything without intelligence, and Krishna also says that he is the root of all intelligence. Unless a person is intelligent, he cannot understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna. Yes? So he is the bija, he is the seed of everything. And then it's given over here that everything emanates from him. He is the Supreme Absolute Truth, the Parabrahman. Brahmeti Paramatmeti Bhagavan iti Shabdyate. What are the three different aspects of the Lord? Three different realizations, aspects of the Lord.
Bhagwan, Paramatma, or
Brahman.
Brahman.
Yeah. So Brahman is his
Effulgence.
and Paramatma,
It's Paramatma, he's there in the heart.
yes, as the super soul. And Bhagavan,
Bhagwan is the personal form.
correct. So impersonal Brahman is situated in personal aspect. What does this mean?
The impersonal Brahman, मतलब उनका effulgence जो है वो परमात्मा के रूप में हम हर एक जीव में बसे हुए हैं.
Correct. Not only Paramatma, Bhagavan also, because Paramatma is Bhagavan. So the personal aspect is the Lord with a form, Bhagavan, Paramatma. So impersonal is just the effulgence, and it is situated in the person, right? So therefore, Krishna is the source of everything. Aham sarvasya prabhavo matta sarvam pravartate. You will learn in the Chatushloki Bhagavad Gita in 10th chapter. Aham sarvasya prabhavo matta sarvam pravartate. Everything emanates from me. Everything. So he is therefore the seed. Right? Now every living being, we all understand, comes from a seed. Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes,
Yes, we also came from a seed.
it's
The plants also come from seeds, even seeds, eggs, all are seeds only. Yeah, so and all this comes from the Lord.
Krishna.
Yeah. So Jagat under Kotri, right? The whole universe is described in Brahma Samhita to be in the form of an egg. Egg is also a seed. Where does this come from? Where does Kshirodakshai Vishnu come from?
Mahavishnu. Garbhodakshai. Garbhodakshai.
Garbhodakshai. Garbhodakshai comes from?
Mahavishnu.
Mahavishnu.
What comes out from Mahavishnu?
A lotus
No,
and
no, Garbhodakshai.
okay.
Mahavishnu.
Mahavishnu, the small bubbles.
And what are those bubbles?
Universes.
The planet.
Correct. So they are Jagat under Koti, right? Millions of egg-shaped universes come out from his pores of Karnodakshai Vishnu or Mahavishnu. Those are also seeds, right? So everything comes from him, from the seeds. This universe, these planets, us, the jivas, the moving, the non-moving. So every entity in this species of life emanates from Krishna. So therefore, Srila Prabhupada says, the root of everything, he is the Karanam, root of everything. Sarva Karana Karanam, he is the root of everything. Even the Devatas. So that's why in the Bhagavatam there is a verse which says that if you water the root, you satisfy the leaves, the flowers, the fruits, everything. Who is the root?
Krishna.
Krishna.
Krishna. Krishna. Another word for root is cause. Another word for cause is Karanam. Sarva Karana Karanam. You understand this from Brahma Samhita? Sarva Karana Karanam. Is the root cause of everything. Right? And of course, Nityo Nityanam. He is, even before Karanodakshai Vishnu, even before Sankarshan, even before Balaram, there was Krishna. But is there anyone before him?
No.
There is no evidence. There isn't anyone, so therefore there is no evidence. So it is Nityo Nityanam, he is eternal. So all the avatars of the Lord, whether it's Lord, starting with the first, which is Balaram, the Chatur Vyuha, Vasudev, Sankarshana, Pradyumna, Aniruddha, then the Karanodakshai Vishnu, Garbhodakshai Vishnu, Kshirodakshai Vishnu, they are all eternal. But of all the eternals, who is eternal? Krishna. And who is the root? Krishna. Even the root of all the Vishnu Tattvas is also Krishna. And he is alone maintaining the life of everyone. Now we know that, of course, all the Vishnu Tattvas are eternal. There is no life and death for them. But still, they emanate from someone. They came from someone, no? So who's maintaining them? Krishna. So here again we are talking about, this is why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu spoke about Achintya Bheda Abheda Tattva. Vishnu Tattvas are all Krishna, but they are still not Krishna. Balaram is Krishna, but he is still not Krishna. Understand? Inconceivable, but understand it. Unless a person is intelligent, he cannot understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So who is this intelligence? Krishna. Now when any scriptures talk about intelligence, they are talking about spiritual intelligence. Because material intelligence, no one cares. It is of no consequence because it is temporary. Actually, it is even more temporary than your lifetime, isn't it? What you studied in college, do you remember now? It was temporary. Most of the time, what we study in college and what job we get has no relation to it. We have nothing to do with what we've studied. I mean, even though I'm a teacher and I've done B.Ed, what I studied in B.Ed is nothing what we use in the classroom. It's just... So, when we talk about intelligence over here, we are only talking about spiritual intelligence because material intelligence is of no consequence. Nobody bothers talking about that. But still, if you say People who are extremely intelligent, who are geniuses. Who is that intelligence?
Krishna.
Krishna, because he's the most intelligent. He's a genius. In one of the 64 qualities which Krishna has, one is genius and one is chatur, clever. These are two different things. Genius is different, clever is different. Chatur is different. We know how chatur Krishna is. He can get out of any trouble by talking his way out. But he's a genius because he can talk about any logic. He can give you counter arguments. He can give you knowledge about anything. He can solve multiple arguments at the same time, multiple problems at the same time. That's the genius. Yeah. But he can be genius and he can be chatur and he can be pleasing and he can be non-envious and he can be so many other things. No ego. But no human being can do that. It's impossible. So even if we talk about material knowledge, even then the most intelligent person also, that intelligence comes from Krishna. Because again, if Krishna wishes, he can just take that away. How many people suffer from Alzheimer's and dementia? People who are extremely intelligent suddenly one day forget everything. Because it's the Lord's will. It's their karma. It's the Lord's will. Right? So, when we see opulence, so intelligence is also an opulence. Beauty is also an opulence. Of course, wealth is opulence. When you see all these things, long life is also an opulence, Long life is an opulence. Health is an opulence. When you see all these things in a person, I mean, maybe not one person has everything. Some persons have a lot of one thing. You must understand that it is the essence of the Lord. Yeah, you must understand that it's Krishna's energy. That person has nothing to do with it. When we're just born, right? Do we have any control about where or how we look? Or we may try to look very beautiful, but what we are born with is born with. Even if you do a lot of plastic surgery and anything, at the end of the day, it gets spoiled. Yeah, people can make out it. You just have to, you're born with a certain beauty. You're born with a certain intelligence. So it is Krishna's grace and it is Krishna's mercy. So when you see something in someone, you must immediately say, oh, Krishna has blessed. You mustn't say, oh, see that person, oh my gosh, she's so beautiful. Krishna has given her that. It is Krishna's energy. Any questions? I did not touch. Actually, why didn't I do that? I'll just go back to the previous verse. Tapas Chashmi, Tapas Vishu. That's a very important thing. One sec, I'll just go back to that. That's something we should all, it's a very important point. I don't know why I missed that. Yes, Tapas Chashmi, Tapas Vishu. Yes, I am the penance in those who practice penance. So what is this penance? What is this tapas, austerity which we do? Do you do any austerities? Do any of you do any austerities?
Kadashi Vrat,
Yes.
getting up in the morning.
Yes. And now Kartik is coming, so you must increase your austerity. Yeah. But is it you doing it, Hema?
No, never.
Then who's doing it? Your husband?
Krishna, Krishna is.
Krishna is blessing you to do it, right? But what does Maya do?
Try to
Yes.
deviate us.
Yes.
Tries to distract us, deviate us from the path of austerity.
Sometimes you wish, आज ही आना था एकादशी. Oh my God, आज ही आना था. मुझे ना गोलगप्पे खाने का इतना मन था, अभी तो आया था एकादशी, फिर से आ गया, अभी तो खत्म हुआ. What is that? That's Maya, isn't it? Doesn't it happen? Be truthful. I mean, it happens to me so many times. And then you're craving something. Oh, I really feel like having pav bhaji. कल खाएं? नहीं, कल एकादशी है. Oh, फिर से आ गया एकादशी. What is that? It's Maya. That's Maya. So if you're not firm in you're not determined, if you don't understand that Krishna is everything for you, you will give in to Maya. You will say, चलो इस बार कर लेते हैं, अगले एकादशी में फ्रूट्स खा लेंगे. वो वैसे भी साल में एक बार पांडव निर्जल आता ही है, तो एक मिस हो गया तो तब निर्जल कर लेंगे. That's the thing many people do, no? So the thing is, if you miss any of the Ekadashis, then if you do Nirjal on Pandav, Bhim Ekadashi, then it makes up for it. But you can never make up for it. You can never. So if you want to progress, Krishna says in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu that there are two things you must do. And out of that, one is you must follow the Ekadashi Vrat. Must. Then another way of austerity is depriving yourself or keeping yourself away from things which pull you towards it. Depriving yourself, or austerity can also be, abstaining from things which you know is going to keep you from Krishna consciousness. Like watching TV, watching movies, watching matches. Srila Prabhupada never recommended that. In fact, he used to chastise devotees who used to watch,
हाँ जी,
especially cricket
सारे
matches.
हो गए? सब सही है?
1 minute. Sorry.
No worries. So tapas, so that austerity, that tapas which we do, and the man is Krishna giving his grace. The more he knows, the more he sees you are making an effort, he will be on your side. Yog Maya will protect you. But if you give in to Maya, Maya is very strong. Once you give in to her, the next time she'll do double. She's very strong. Another thing is that we are in Bharatvarsha, and the presiding deity. So I don't know, you must have heard lectures that there are 4 Varshas. In between is the, there's Harivamsha, there are 3, okay. We are in Bharatvarsha, and each Varsha, there are 4 different directions of the Meru Parvat. In the 4, and on the south is Bharatvarsha. And the presiding deity of Bharatvarsha, now every area, every Varshas have presiding deities. Like Kim Purusha Varsha. Kim Purusha is where Lord Hanuman is. Kim Purusha Varsha, there the presiding deity is Lord Ram. So in our Bharatvarsha, for this Manvantara, the presiding deity is Nar Narayan Rishi. You all know Nar Narayan Rishi? Badri Narayan, Nar Narayan. So Nar Narayan Rishi are twins. It is Narayan who is Narayan, and Nar is Arjun, who came as Arjun. Nar over there is Arjun. So Nar and Narayan. So there is a proof of that also, because in the Bhagwad Gita, it said that earlier you were Nar Narayan, now you are Krishna and Arjun. Now, Nar and Narayan are rishis who came to teach us how to follow austerities. So since they are the presiding deities of Bharatvarsha. Bharatvarsha means the entire earth, not just us, India, not that, entire earth. The primary occupation of a human being is to do austerities, is to do tapa. Why? So that when you do the tapas, you go to Swarglok, you go to higher planetary systems and you enjoy there. That is why you are born as a human being in Bharatvarsha. To do austerities here, but to enjoy in the higher planets. But we have forgotten that. We have forgotten that this human body is meant for austerities. What are we trying to do? We are trying to enjoy here. But actually, there is no opulence in earth, in Bhuloka. I mean, there is no opulence. It's rubbish. This opulence is nothing compared to the Swargaloka. So we are meant to do austerities here following Nar Narayan Rishi, and we are meant to enjoy in upper planetary systems. But since we are not doing austerities here, we will not get to enjoy in the planetary systems. So we'll go to the lower planetary systems below us. So austerity is very important, and that austerity is the Lord himself. And he came to show us as Nar Narayan Rishi. So why this is very important is because now Kartik is starting from Sunday. All of you have to pull up your socks. I know all of you are chanting beautifully, 16 plus rounds. That is amazing, amazing. But there is some austerity you have to do. Think about it. What is it in Krishna consciousness that you are supposed to follow but you are not following? And this month for Kartik, make a vow that at least this month you're going to follow it. If you follow it for 1 month in Kartik, by the time you've already formed a habit. Takes 21 days to form a habit, Neha?
Yes, it does.
It does. And you have 30 days of Kartik. I'm sure you'll form a habit. Think about what it is that you are supposed to do. So do that, increase it. What you're supposed to abstain or not do, delete it. This Kartik, just go deeper into bhakti. It's a very, very auspicious month. I don't have to tell you, you all have been here for so many years now. You know the importance of Kartik, and you all are so near to Vrindavan as well. You all are blessed to live in that area itself. So you must think about it. I mean, you know yourself what you need to do. If it is reading, you must read. Srila Prabhupada said, all my disciples, meaning us also, not just we are his grandchildren, so we are his disciples, should read for 2 hours every day. If not 2 hours, at least 1 hour. If not 1 hour, at least half an hour. If not half an hour, at least 15 minutes. So try at least 15 minutes of reading Srila Prabhupada's, any of the books, Bhagwad Gita, purports very important, Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita, NOI, NOD, any small book, anything, but 15 minutes minimum. Chanting, of course, you all are doing. If you want to increase it, do that. Abstain what you'll feel you should abstain from. If there's anything you need to, and just go deeper. Yeah, because we are meant to do some kind of austerity since we are born as human beings in Bharatvarsha. And we have so many opportunities, but we are so caught up with life. Kartik is a good chance for you to go into it. So I stop here. Any questions? I'll take any questions if you all have.
I also heard in one of the lecture, Mataji, that don't try to hold Krishna's hand. Do such things that Krishna should look after. Who is this person who is doing such austerities?
Yes.
Be something special.
Yes, but sometimes, Hema, when we try to do something special, we cannot sustain it because we are in Kali Yuga, we are grihastas. So I have gone through that phase. I will do this, I will do that. First day Maya attacks. First day, I remember the first time I did Kartik Vrat. This was so many years ago. I don't even remember how many years it is. And I said, okay, I'm very inspired by other devotees and said, no sweet for 1 month. First day of Kartik, I got 2 boxes of my favorite sweet. First day. Then I was like, chalo, theek hai, next year karenge without sweets. First day gone. So do things which are simple, which are doable. Because sweets anyway, Lord loves, isn't it? And there's no harm in having sweets. Lot of people think, oh, this is the best time to diet. So what I'll do is I will eat only 1 meal a day every day. And then you are called left, right, and center for Damodar Aarti, this Kirtan, that Kirtan, Diwali, ye, wo. Where are you going to have 1 meal a day? You're simply standing there and everybody is eating and they're thinking, I shouldn't have kept this. The whole meaning of austerity is lost. Austerity is something you do to please Krishna. But if you think you're going to do it for your own body, to please yourself or to please others, first day Maya will attack you. First day. I suggest keep it simple. Try to, instead of abstaining, if you're following the 4 regulator principles and you're having without onion, garlic, then don't bother abstaining. But increase something. I thought I will increase my reading time or my listening time or my chanting or learn any of the ashtakams, chant it for the Lord every day. Another thing which another sannyasi said was try to increase paying obeisances. Something as simple as that. How many of you actually count how many obeisances you do every day to the Lord? Do you do a fixed number? I don't. I never even thought about it. I don't. Subah kiya, subah uthaya, dua nitai ko, once that, once after puja, once in the evening, once in the night. I don't even know how many it is. But he said, give a certain number and do that number. As simple as that. But the Lord wants you to pay obeisances. Manmana bhava mad bhakto madhyaji mam namaskuru. Mam namaskuru. Pay obeisances to me, he says. We don't pay attention to that instruction. We haven't absorbed it, but see this, such a senior sannyasi, he's absorbed this, he said. And he also gave example of Goswamis. They used to give fixed number of rounds. Every day they used to chant fixed number of rounds and fixed number of obeisances. 3,000 obeisances, Raghunath Das Goswami. 3,000 obeisances.
Can we pay the obeisances at one time or in a 24 hours anyway?
You can do. If you say, okay, I'm going to pay 10 obeisances in a day, do 10 at one time. Nobody's stopping you. There is Sanatan Goswami's Tava Leela, Krishna Leela Stava. It is verses of, I think 108 verses of the different pastimes of the Lord in a poem form. And each verse has 4 lines. And after each verse, he used to do an obeisances. He used to give obeisances. So he used to chant the verse, obeisance. He wrote it like that. It's meant to be done like that. You chant the verse and you pay obeisance. How amazing these Goswamis are. How amazing. How amazing. So maybe you can do that. Try. If you are already following the don'ts, don't do this, don't eat that, don't that, then increase your do's. One of that I'm going to do is this, increase of, fix a number of obeisances is what I'm going to do, because that's what I heard yesterday and that really inspired me. Really inspired me.
Mataji, I want to ask one thing. आपने कहा ओबेंस, हरे कृष्णा माता जी, आपने बोला कि ओबेंस तो कैसे देना है, मतलब जैसे आपने बोला कि he used to read 4 lines and then obeisance, तो किस तरह से बोलना है? Because I want to learn कि how can we pay obeisance. Please माता जी, if you.
No, it is not necessary you do it like Sanatan Goswami and chant, because that's a
Not
very
that.
long
I'm
verse.
just asking कि कैसे करें?
जैसे हम
भी करना है तो कैसे? I mean,
जैसे हम दंडवत करते हैं, so let's say कि 10 आपने सोचा कि दिन में 10 करना है, तो सुबह सुबह 5 कर लीजिए, शाम को 5, so do उठो, फिर से उठो, and every time you get up you can say a Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, as simple as that.
अच्छा, अगर एक बार हम ऐसे महामंत्र बोलते हैं तो इट इज लाइक पेइंग ओबेसेंस, अब हम उनको ऐसे करना है?
नहीं, ओबेसेंस दंडवत प्रणाम तो आपको करना ही है फिजिकली।
अच्छा,
तो उसका एक फिक्स्ड नंबर कर सकते हो आप।
अच्छा माता जी, जैसे आपने बोला फिक्स नंबर कर सकते हैं, तो जैसे मन हुआ मेरा कि जाके मैं दंडवत प्रणाम करूं और भगवान को बोलूं प्रभु आपकी बड़ी कृपा है, ऐसे कुछ, तो ये भी उसी में गिना जाएगा कि ओबेसेंस? हाँ,
बोलना दंडवत नहीं है, दंडवत करके बोलना दैट्स फाइन,
अच्छा,
बट दंडवत करना फिजिकली करना जरूरी है,
ठीक है,
फिजिकली।
अच्छा,
बोलते
थैंक यू
तो है ही ना, बोलना तो है ही,
हाँ जी, हाँ,
बट फिजिकली प्रणाम करना, उसका एक फिक्स्ड नंबर कि 10 बार मैं करूंगी या फिर 5 बार करूंगी, एटलीस्ट 2 बार तो करते ही हैं मिनिमम।
ठीक है माता जी, थैंक यू सो मच माता जी।
सो आई एम जस्ट गिविंग एन एग्जांपल, मैं ये नहीं कह रही हूँ कि यही करना है, जो
हाँ,
मैं
नहीं,
मैं सुनी हूँ बस उतना ही बता रही हूँ। So it's up to you what you all want to do, but think, Kartik is just round the corner. Think everyone.
माता जी जैसे हम कुछ किसी को देते हैं, दान देते हैं, या किसी को मैंने कुछ सपोज किया, मेरे नीचे गार्ड बैठे हैं, उसको मेरा मन हुआ मैंने उसको जाके 2 सेब दे दिए, तो ये जब जैसे देना है तो क्या बोल के देना कि प्रभु आपको अर्पण है, और फिर उनको देना है, किस तरह से मतलब देना, दान करना चाहिए? मैं थोड़ा शॉर्ट में समझा दीजिए माता जी प्लीज।
हमेशा प्रसादम ही दान देना चाहिए, बिना भोगा लगाए किसी को कुछ देना नहीं चाहिए।
अच्छा,
So अगर आप सेब भी दे रहे हो तो पहले ठाकुर जी को, भगवान को भोग चढ़ाइए, फिर
जी,
उसका प्रसाद जो है वो बांटिए। जैसे हम लोग भी अगर पूरा बॉक्स लाते हैं ऐसे सेब का या कोई भी फल, पूरा पूरा बॉक्स हम अर्पण करते हैं, भोगा
उसमें
चढ़ाते हैं,
तुलसी डालते हैं?
पूरे बॉक्स को भगवान के सामने रखते हैं,
जी,
पूरा भोगा चढ़ाते हैं, और
ठीक है,
फिर जितना भी है उसमें से हम बांट देते हैं। अगर कपड़े भी बांट रहे हो आप, अगर कपड़ा या कंबल भी बांट रहे हो तो पहले
जी।
आप भोगा चढ़ाइए।
तो माता जी उसमें फिर जैसे खाने की चीज में तुलसा जी डालते हैं, सबको डालते हैं, कंबल बोला, उसमें भी तुलसा जी देना है?
यस,
अच्छा, ठीक है, जो भी है तुलसा जी देना ही है, चाहे वो खाने का हो, चाहे पहनने का हो, चाहे वैसे यूज करने का।
जी जी,
ठीक,
एक्सेप्ट जूतों में नहीं।
हाँ ऑब्वियसली तुलसी महाराज जी तो
हाँ, बट नए जूते भी हम अर्पण करते हैं,
जी,
दूर से पहले ठाकुर जी को बुलाते हैं, बोलते हैं आप पहले पहनिए फिर हम पहनेंगे, ऐसे बोलते
अच्छा,
हैं।
अच्छा जी,
हाँ, तो बट ये नहीं है कि मंदिर में जाके नए जूते रख रहे हैं और उसके ऊपर तुलसी रख रहे हैं, वो सब नहीं कर रहे।
नहीं नहीं, ठीक है माता जी, आपने आज बहुत बड़ा मेरे मन में क्वेश्चन रहता था हमेशा कैसे करना है, आपने मेरा आज पूरा सॉल्व कर दिया है। बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद माता जी, बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद।
मोस्ट वेलकम माता जी,
So, Mataji, even I want to ask you something, that why don't we eat pan when we offer it to Krishna, and why don't we eat it?
because it is a matter of intoxication. You get addicted to it. That's what. And the Lord does not get addicted to it. The Lord enjoys, but the betel nuts are addictive.
So if you have pan without betel nuts, then it's not addictive.
It's not addictive, but the betel leaf is also addictive. Anything, betel nut, betel leaf, any derivative from a betel tree is an addictive. Even the leaf is addictive. So that's why
पर
we don't.
माता जी हम तो भगवान को पान तो कितनी बार चढ़ाते हैं, फिर
भगवान तो खा सकते हैं ना, भगवान को तो चढ़ाना चाहिए।
उनका चढ़ावा तो खा सकते हैं ना।
नहीं, नहीं खा सकते। लीला प्रभुपाद ने मना किया है, मतलब मना किया है।
मना किया, नहीं जी बिल्कुल ठीक है। अच्छा माता जी एक चीज और पूछना है, जैसे कि एकादशी में ये बोलती हूँ कि मैं व्रत नहीं करती, क्योंकि व्रत करने से फिर बहुत नियम है, कथा करो ये करो। मैं बोलती हूँ इसे, जब से मैं इस्कॉन में आई तो मैं अन्न नहीं खाना और ये सब नहीं खाना। तो माता जी जैसे दिन में 2 बार ही नमक खा सकते हैं, ऐसा कुछ नहीं कि 1 बार ही खाना है? मैं थोड़ा सा, मेरे को समझ नहीं आता, मैं कंफ्यूज होती हूँ, मैं 1 बार ही ऐसे खाती हूँ, ऐसे कुछ है क्या माता जी? जैसे अब कार्तिक में भी 2 एकादशी आएंगे, तो बड़े बड़े एकादशी हैं कार्तिक के, तो जी
वैसे तो हर एकादशी बहुत महत्व है, हर
जी जी
एकादशी का अपना
जी
महत्व है,
जी
सब
बिल्कुल जी, हाँ
इम्पोर्टेंट
जी
है,
जी
कार्तिक में
जी
आए ना आए।
जी जी
बट
बिल्कुल जी,
अगर नमक नहीं खाना है ऐसा कुछ नहीं है,
ऐसा कुछ
आपकी
नहीं।
आपकी मर्जी है, बट अन्न नहीं खाना है। नो, नो दाल, नो व्हीट, नो राइस, नो बीन्स, नो
यस यस
मटर, नो मटर,
यस
नो कॉर्न, नो कॉर्न। और इसका सारा जो जो भी उसका कॉर्नफ्लावर सब आता है वो सब नहीं खाना है।
नहीं खाना।
एंड व्रत करना जरूरी है, क्योंकि फिर व्रत, अगर आप व्रत जब तोड़ते हो, आप अगर ठाकुर जी या भगवान को अर्पण नहीं करते हो तो फिर उसका फल कैसे मिलेगा आपको? आप अगर परहेज कर रहे हो किसी चीज न खाने की, अन्न नहीं खा रहे हो आप, मतलब आप व्रत कर रहे हो।
अच्छा
तो
जी,
ऐसा नहीं है कि अगर आपने कथा नहीं सुनी तो आपका व्रत पूरा नहीं हुआ, ऐसा नहीं है।
अच्छा जी,
नहीं सुना तो भी चलेगा, मगर अगर आप परहेज कर रहे हो और आप बिना अन्न के खा रहे हो, तो अगले दिन पारायण के टाइम अन्न खाने से पहले आपको आई मीन ठाकुर जी को अर्पण करना ही है कि जो भी आपका फल मिल रहा है इस एकादशी में, वो आप ठाकुर जी को अर्पण करते हैं, और वो जैसे चाहे वो आपको उसका फल दे,
अच्छा
और
माता
फिर
जी।
आप अन्न खाएं।
अच्छा माता जी, कई बार ऐसा होता है कि सुबह, उतना सुबह हुआ तो मैं जैसे स्नान नहीं हो पाया, तो मैं क्या करती हूँ, जैसे चावल का जो कच्चा चावल लिया, भगवान को उसे अर्पण करके फिर वो खा ले, तो वो इसका मतलब वो ठीक नहीं है, वो गलत सिस्टम है मेरा।
सबसे पहले तो स्नान करना, सबसे पहले वही एक डिसिप्लिन आना ही चाहिए कि कोई भी उठे और सबसे पहले ब्रश करें और स्नान करें, फिर ही निकले अपने कमरे से। ऐसा डिसिप्लिन आना ही चाहिए हम सब। भले ही वो जरा सा ऐसे ही सिंपल नहाना हो, बाद में बाल धोना, अपना ब्यूटी ट्रीटमेंट करना, वो सब बाद में हो सकता है। बट सबसे पहले, अगर आप भक्ति में हैं और अगर आपको सत्व गुण और आपने जगाना है, तो ब्रश कीजिए, स्नान कीजिए, फटाफट 5 मिनट वाला स्नान। बाद में आप फिर से एक बार और स्नान कर सकते हो। तो स्नान करना बहुत जरूरी है।
ठीक है।
सत्वगुण, क्लेanliness, internal external cleanliness is very important, very very important. So स्नान तो it is very important, जितने भी जल्दी हो, बाद में हो, जो भी हो। I mean, कितना जल्दी? सनराइज के पारायण हमेशा सनराइज के बाद ही आता है, 5:30। अभी तो विंटर आ रहा है, आपका तो 6 बजे होने वाला है सनराइज। उतना देर से थोड़ी, you have to wake up early. There's no two ways about it. जरूरी है माता जी, सॉरी आपको बोल रही हूँ, बट
नहीं नहीं माता जी, मेरे को ये आदत था, फिर धीरे धीरे छूट गया है, और मैं इसको फिर से शुरू करना चाहती हूँ। कार्तिक का महीना जैसे जैसे खींच खींच के 1 महीना निकाल देती हूँ, फिर वही कभी नीचे आ जाती है, फिर वही लेट नहाना शुरू हो जाता है मेरा। बस यही मेरा मन है कि मैं किसी तरह इसको कंटिन्यू करूँ इस आदत को। वही मेरा इस बार सोचू
ठंड के सीजन, ठंड में माया पता है किस रूप में आती है?
जी।
कंबल के रूप में। You don't want to come out of your blanket, isn't it, Neha, when it's cold? And in Kartik Mahatmya, if you read, the first thing is that you wake up and you take a vow that you will have a bath in Brahma Muhurat in Kartik. That is one of the requirements. Huh?
लोग कार्तिक नहाते हैं ना, पूरा बोलते हैं ना that
What is Kartik Nahana? What is Kartik Nahana?
getting up in Brahma Muhurat and taking a bath.
Yeah, exactly. So for us, it doesn't matter because every day is Brahma Muhurat Snan for us. Every day is Kartik Snan for us. It just doesn't matter whether it's Kartik or non-Kartik. Every day is in the service of the Lord. You have to go by that. हर रोज सबसे पहले ठाकुर जी की सेवा, एंड वो शुरू होता है स्नान से. बिना स्नान से आप ठाकुर जी की सेवा नहीं कर रहे हो, आप अपनी सेवा करवा रहे हो. Yeah. So think about it. Try करो. कुछ चीजें हैं कि मैं बोलना मेरा जरूरी है.
नहीं माता जी, आप बोलते हैं तभी तो ये सब आता है, मोटिवेशन आता है. अदरवाइज तो फिर ढक से नीचे, फिर ऊपर, फिर नीचे, ऐसे लहरों में ऐसे गोते खा रहे हैं ना, ऐसे हो जाता है.
प्रीति माता जी, मुझे याद ही नहीं है कि किस दिन मेरी खुद माता जी कभी ब्रह्म मुहूर्त में नहीं उठी हूँ. मुझे याद ही नहीं है. मेरी नानी, मेरी दादी, उस जमाने में सब ब्रह्म मुहूर्त में ही उठ के नहाते थे. अब हमारा लेट क्यों होता है? क्योंकि तब टीवी नहीं था. अब हम लेट तक, हम टीवी ना भी देखे तो हमारे फोन पे है टीवी.
नहीं माता जी, मेरे साथ क्या आपको इस प्लेटफॉर्म पे बोलूं, मेरा थोड़ा सा पेट के प्रॉब्लम रहता है, तो मैं ठीक से पेट साफ नहीं होता एक बारी में, तो मुझे क्या लगता है कि अच्छा अभी सेकंड टाइम मेरे को जाना पड़ेगा, ऐसे उस फीलिंग की वजह से मेरा लेट हो जाता है. अदरवाइज मैं उठ जाती हूँ, उठ के एक बारी फ्रेश भी हो जाती हूँ, तो वो मेरे को नहीं होता कि मैं जितना जैसे भी फ्रेश होके फट से नहा लूं. अच्छा, आई कीप ऑन थिंकिंग नहीं अभी तो अच्छे से फ्रेश नहीं हुआ, फिर मैं वॉक पे जाऊं, मैं ये कर लूं, मैं वो कर लूं, करते करते मेरा वो ये प्रॉब्लम है माता जी. पहले तो मैं जल्दी नहा लेती थी.
इसीलिए मैं बोल रही हूँ जो पहला स्नान आप लेते हो, क्विक वाला स्नान लीजिए, क्विक वाला. बाद में आप फिर से स्नान लीजिए ना.
नहीं, अब कल से माता जी मैं क्या करूंगी कि अपने कपड़े रख के ही निकलूंगी, कि रख लिए और नहा के ही निकलूंगी, चाहे कुछ हो जाए. ये हैबिट बनानी माता जी, आई फील सो इरिटेटिंग ना कि मेरा ये हो नहीं पा रहा, क्योंकि पहले मेरा ऐसे ही था कि जल्दी नहा लेने वाला था. अब वो नहीं हो पा रहा कुछ सालों से, तो मुझे अंदर से इरिटेशन से होने लगती है अपने ऊपर कि मैं कितना लेट हो गई.
आपका अलार्म कितने बजे बजता है
माता जी? बाय द ग्रेस ऑफ गॉड मेरे खुद से नींद खुल जाएगी, कभी 5 तक खुल जाएगी. आलस करूंगी, कभी उठ भी जाऊंगी, फिर पानी वानी पीकर ये सब करना है. लेकिन ये जो आप
5 o'clock अलार्म रखिए. जब अलार्म बजेगा तो आपको याद आएगा कि नहाना है.
तो अभी मैं कल से सोच रही हूँ कि कपड़े रख के ही बाथरूम में जाऊंगी, जिससे कि नहा के ही निकलना जाए, कुछ हो जाए. बोले जब तक डंडा सिर पे नहीं रखूंगी तो शायद नहीं हो पाएगा मेरा ना.
Yes,
बहुत परेशान होती हूँ.
one of the basics of भक्ति यही है कि आप सत्व गुण में आओ और क्लेanliness हो.
माता जी आप मुझ पे कृपा करें मुझे कि मैं कर पाऊँ ये चीज ना. अंदर से बहुत परेशान हो जाती हूँ मैं इसके लिए ना.
माता जी आप हम पे कृपा कीजिए और नेक्स्ट टाइम आप बताइए हमें कि आप नहा रहे हो सुबह.
ये आपने ऊपर से एक डंडा एक मार ही दिया. आप हमें बताइए.
प्रीति, कैलेंडर रखना, टिक करना कैलेंडर पे.
नहीं, वो बहुत अच्छे से मेरे के ऊपर ही डाल दिया कि अब मुझे करना ही है, भी बताना है मुझे. ये तो अब ना ये है कि सीनियर डिवोटीज के साथ रहने से ना ये देखिए फर्क पड़ता है. जी जरूर माता जी.
ऑल दिस आर बेसिक्स. अगर आप ये सब आपके दिमाग से अगर निकल जाए कि ये करना है नहीं करना है, आपको पता है करना है मतलब करना है. दैट इज डिसिप्लिन. भक्ति में डिसिप्लिन जरूरी है. फिर आप फोकस कर सकते हो ना आपका चांटिंग में, आपके भक्ति में. अगर बेसिक्स में ही आप अगर अटकोगे तो फिर बाकी भी चीजें फिर अटकेंगी. चीजें यू शुड बी डिसिप्लिन्ड. करना है, बस करना है. जैसे अगर अगर बच्चे को दवाई खिलानी है 12 बजे तो आप खिलाओगे, आपका बच्चा है। तो अगर ये करना है आपके आत्मा के लिए, आपकी सोल के लिए करना है, मतलब करना है बस, दैट्स इट। Bhakti is very disciplined. You have to be very disciplined in bhakti. Any other question? Anyone?
जय माता दी।
Okay, so shall we stop for the day? Yes? Okay, let's chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram
हरे
Vacha kalpatarubhyascha kripa siddhubhyaiva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Srimad Bhagwad Gita ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Jai God.
हरे कृष्ण।
Thank you, Mother.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Hare Krishna. Hema, I'll send you